morning everyone. Basa na ng Bible guys. Ang babasahin natin ay Joshua 19, 20 and 21. Nalate tayo ng gising kasi. Napatay ko yung alarm. hindi na set. And Luke chapter 2 verse 25 to 52. Dito muna tayo sa Joshua. Joshua 19. Allotment for Simeon. The second lot came out for the tribe of Simeon, clan by clan. Their inheritance lay within the territory of Judah. It included Beersheba or Sheba, Molada, Hazar, Shual, Bala, Ezim, El-Tolad, Bethel, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazar, Susa, Beth, Lebaot, and Sharohin, 13 towns and their villages. And Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan, 4 towns and their villages, and all the villages around these towns as far as Baalat, Beer, Ramah, and then Egypt. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Simeonites, clan by clan. The inheritance of the Simeonites was taken from the share of Judah because Judah's portion was more than they needed. So the Simeonites received their inheritance within the territory of Judah. Allotment for Zebulun. The third lot came for Zebulun clan by clan. The boundary of their inheritance went as far as Sarid. Going west, it ran to Marala, that's Dabisheth, and extended to Rabin near Jokneam. It turned east from Sarid toward the sunrise to the territory of Kisloth, Tabor, and went on to Dabret and up to Japhia. Then it continued eastward to Gath, Hepher, and Eth Kesin. It came out at Rimmon and turned toward Ne. There the boundary went around on the north of Hanaton and ended to the valley at the valley of Ibtael. Included were Gata, Nahalal, Shimron, Edala, and Bethlehem. There were 12, yung Bethlehem pala kay Zebulun. There were 12 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of Zebulun clan by clan, allotment of Issachar. The fourth lot came out for Issachar clan by clan. Their territory included Gisel, Kesulot, Shunim, Haparem, Shihon, and Harat, Rabeth, Kishon, Abis, Remeth, and Ganim, and Hada, and Beth Pases. The boundary touched Tabor, Shahazumah, and Bel-Shemesh, and ended at the Jordan. There were 16 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Issachar clan by clan. Allotment for Asher. The fifth lot came out to the tribe of Asher clan by clan. Their territory included Helkath, Hali, Bethem, Akshah, Alamelech, Emed, and Mishal. On the west, the boundary touched Carmel and Shihor-Libnath. It then turned east toward Dagon, touched Zebulun and the valley of Ibtael, and went north to Beth Emek and Neiel, passing Kabul on the left. It went to Abdon, Rehob, Hammon, and Canaan as far as Greater Sidon. The boundary then turned back toward Ramah and went to the fortified city of Tyre, turned toward Hosa. So yung Tyre pala kay Asa yun guys. Turned toward Tyre. Sana. And came out at the sea in the region of Akzib, Omah, Apek, and Rehob. There were 22 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inhabitants of tribe of Asher clan by clan. Sorry guys, madali na lang tayo. Tingnan natin magmadali. Allotment for Naphtali. The sixth lot came up for Naphtali, clan by clan. Their boundary went from Helith and the large tree in Sananim, passing Adami-Nekev and Javnel to Laklekom. Ay, hindi ko alam kung kailangan pa natin basahin to. Hindi naman tayo ang inheritance nito guys. Tsaka tapos na to eh. Na hati-hati na to sa kanila. And ending at the Jordan, the boundary ran west through Asnos. Sabi na sa iyo eh, ano lang to ng Israel eh. Itong Bible, puro lang sa Israel. Asno Tabor and came out of at Hokok. It had Zebulun on the south, Asher on the west, and the Jordan on the east. The fortified cities were Ziddim, Sir Hamad, Rakat, Kinneret, Adama, Rama, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, and Hazor. Iron, Migdal, El, Horeb, Beth, Enet, and Beth Shemesh. There were 19 towns and their villages. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe of Naphtali, clan by clan. Allotment for Dan. The seventh lot came out for the tribe of Dan, clan by clan. The territory of their inheritance included Surah, Etarol, Ershemesh, Labin, Aijalon, Etla, Elon, Timna, Ekron, Elteke, Gibbethon, Baalad, Jehod, Beneberak, Gat, Rimon, Mejarkon, and Rakon, with the area facing Joppa. But the Danites had difficulty taking possession of the territory, so they went up and attacked Lishem. Ay, giyak talaga. Took it, put it to the sword, and occupied it. Tingnan mo guys, pagkalupaan talaga, kailangan pa talaga nilang no? Para lang sila magkalupa. Put it to the sword and occupied it. They settled in Lishem and named it Dan after their forefather. These towns and their villages were the inheritance of the tribe Dan, clan by clan. Yan ba guys, ang ganyan, kukonsentihin ba natin yung sa ganitong generation natin? Siyempre hindi. Pagka pinaghirapan mo yung lupa mo, basta nalang aangkinin nila. Diba? Minsan hindi ko alam kung kakampi ako dito sa character sa Bible or hindi. Kasi pagdating sa lupa talaga, yung mga aangkin ng lupa na may lupa, hindi maganda. Allotment for Joshua, tapos sasabihin, bigay ni Father God. May ibibigay sa'yo, anuhin mo, papatayin mo yung mga dating nakatira doon para lang ibigay sa'yo. Nasaan yung katwiran doon? Allotment for Joshua. When they had finished dividing the land into its allotment, ang nakapagtataka kasi, ba't kayo dumami ng ganyan nang wala naman kayong sariling lupa? Diba? Dumayo sila tapos nangyera na. Kesyo kumampi sa kanila si Father God. Binigay sa kanila, pangako. Paano pangako yun? May dati nang nakatira. Allotment for Joshua. When they had finished dividing the land, wala, reaction lang yun ha. Hindi ko kinukontra yung reaction ko lang yan. Sarili lang ba? Kasi sa generation natin ngayon guys, napakahalaga ng lupa tapos basta lang aangkinin sa'yo. When they had finished dividing the land into its allotted portions, the Israelites gave Joshua son of Nun an inheritance among them. As the Lord, nakalagay na rito guys sa 49, allotment for Joshua. When they had finished dividing the land into its allotted portions, the Israelites gave Joshua son of Nun an inheritance among them, as the Lord had commanded. They gave him the town he asked for, Timnath, Serah, in the hill country of Ephraim, and he built up the town and settled there. These are the territories. Excuse me. Nag-ibara na naman yung lalamunan ko. These are the territories that Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the tribal clans of Israel assigned by lot at Shiloh in the presence of the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and so they finished dividing the land. Special cities are set aside, cities of refuge. Then the Lord said to Joshua, tell the Israelites to designate the cities of refuge, as I instructed you through Moses, so that anyone who kills a person accidentally and intentionally may flee there and find protection from the avenger of blood. When he plays to one of the cities, he is to stand in the entrance of the city gate and state his case before the elders of that city. Then they are to admit him into their city and give him a place to live with them. If the avenger of blood pursues him, they must not surrender the one accused, because he killed his neighbor unintentionally and without malice aforethought. He is to stay in that city until he has stood trial before the assembly and until the death of the high priest who is serving that at the time. Then he may go back to his own home in the town from which he fled. So they set apart Kadesh in Galilee and the hill. Oh, yung Galilee sa refuge. So they set apart Kadesh in Galilee in the hills country of Naphtali. She came in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiryat Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. On the east side of the Jordan, on the east side of the Jordan, and Jericho, they designated Bezer in the desert of the plateau in the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead in the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan in the tribe of Manasseh. Any of the Israelites or any alien living among them who killed someone accidentally could flee to the designated cities and not be killed by the avenger of blood prior to standing trial before the assembly. Towns, 21 na tayo guys. Towns for the Levites. Now the family heads of the Levites approached Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the other tribal families of Israel, as Shiloh in Canaan, and said to them, the Lord commanded from Moses that you give us towns to live in with pasture lands for our livestock. So as the Lord had commanded, the Israelites gave the Levites the following towns and pasture lands out of their own inheritance. The first lot came out for the Kohathites, clan by clan. The Levites, who were descendants of Aaron the priest, were allotted 13 towns from the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. The rest of Kohath descendants were allotted 10 towns from the clans of the tribes of Ephraim, Dan, and half of Manasseh. The descendants of Gershon were allotted 13 towns from the clans of the tribes of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and the half-tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. The descendants of Merari, clan by clan, received 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the Israelites allotted to the Levites these towns and their pasture lands, as the Lord had commanded from Moses. From the tribes of Judah and Simeon, they allotted the following towns by name. These towns were assigned to the descendants. Wait lang guys ulit. From the tribes of Judah, wait. Nabasa na natin ito ng 13 class. Dito tayo sa 7 mo, nabalikan natin. The descendants of Merari clan by clan received 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the Israelites allotted to the Levites these towns and their pasture lands, as the Lord had commanded from Moses. From the tribe of Judah and Simeon, they allotted the following towns by name. These towns were assigned to the descendants of Aaron, who were from Kohathite clans of the Levites, because the first lot filled them. fell to them. They gave them Kiryat Arba, that is Hebron, with its surrounding pasture land, in the hill country of Judah. Arba was the forefather of Enoch, but the fields and villages around the city they had given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, as his possession. So the descendants of Aaron the priest, they gave Hebron, a city of refuge for one accused of murder, Libnah, Jatir, Estemoa, Holon, Tibur, and Jota, and Beth Shemesh, together with their pasture lands, 9 towns from these two tribes. And from the tribe of Benjamin they gave the Gibeon, Gibeah, Anathoth, and Almon, together with their pasture lands, 4 towns. All the towns of the priests and the descendants of Aaron were 13 together with their pasture lands. The rest of the Kohathite clans of the Levites were allotted towns from the tribe of Ephraim. In the hill country of Ephraim they were given Shechem, a city of refuge for one accused of murder, and Gezer, Kibzim, and Beth Horon, together with their pasture lands of 4 towns. Also from the tribe of Dan they received Eltekeh, Gibeton, Ajalon, and Gad Rimmon, together with their pasture lands, 4 towns. From half the tribe of Manasseh they received Tanakh and Gath Rimmon, together with their pasture lands, 2 towns. All these 10 towns and their pasture lands were given to the rest of the Kohathite clans. The Levite clans of the Gershonites were given from the half tribe of Manasseh, Golan in Bashan, a city of refuge for one accused of murder, and Bib Istera, together with their pasture lands, 2 towns. From the tribe of Issachar, Kishon, Daberath, Jarmuth, and En-Ganim, together with their pasture lands, 4 towns. From the tribe of Asher, Misha, Abdon, Helkat, and Rehob, together with their pasture lands, 4 towns. From the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh and Galilee, a city of refuge for one accused of murder, Hamath, Dor, and Karta, together with their pasture lands, 3 towns. All the towns of the Gershonites clans were 13 together with their pasture lands. They were right clans. The rest of the Levites were given from the tribe of Zebulun, Jokneam, Karta, Dimnah, and Nahalal, together with their pasture lands, 4 towns. From the tribe of Reuben, Bezer, Jahaz, Kedimoth, and Mephat, together with their pasture lands, 4 towns. From the tribe of Gad, Ramoth and Gilead, city of refuge for one accused of murder, Mahanim, Heshbon, and Gezer, together with the pasture lands, 4 towns in all. All the towns allotted to the Merarite clans, so the rest of the Levites were 12. The towns of the Levites in the territory held by the Israelites were 48 in all, together with their pasture lands. Each of these towns had pasture land surrounding it. This was true for all these towns. So the Lord gave Israel all the land had sworn to give their forefathers, and they took possession of it and settled there. The Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had sworn to their forefathers. Not one of their enemies withstood them. The Lord handed all their enemies over to them. Not one of all the Lord's good promises to the house of Israel failed. Everyone was fulfilled. Okay. Sabi niya yung paragraph. Punta na tayo sa law. Law 2, verse 25 to 52. Verse 25, 2021. Biro nyo, no? Wala lang. Basta pagdating talaga sa pang-aagaw ng lupa, I hate it. The prophecy of Simon. Paano niyo babasahin yan? The prophecy of Simon. Now there was a man in Jerusalem called Simon, who was righteous and devout. He was waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him. It had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not die before he had seen the Lord The Holy Spirit that would not die before he had seen the Lord's Christ. Bilis na. Moved by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts when the parents brought in the child Jesus. When the parents brought in the child Jesus to them for him, what the custom of the law required, Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you now dismiss your servant in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have so verse 27 nakalagay, moved by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts. When the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him what the custom of the law required, Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you now dismiss your servant in peace. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all people, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, and for glory to your people Israel. Ano kasi na nung dinala si Jesus, baby Jesus sa temple, siya pala yung si Simeon nandun rin pala. The child's father, kinuha niya. The child's father and mother marveled at what was said about him. Then Simeon blessed them and said to Mary's mother, This child is destined to cause the falling and rising of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be spoken against, so that the thoughts of many hearts will be revealed, and a sword will pierce your own soul too. The prophecy of Anna. There was also a prophetess Anna, the daughter of Panuel of the tribe of Asher. She was very old. She had lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage, and then was a widow until she was 84. She never left the temple but worshipped night and day, fasting and praying. Coming up to them, at that very moment she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. When Joseph and Mary had done everything required by the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee to their own town of Nazareth. And the child grew and became strong. He was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Jesus speaks with the religious teachers. Every year his parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went up to the feast according to the custom. After the feast was over, while his parents were returning home, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking he was their company, they traveled on for a day. Then they began looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple court, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. 12 years old lang si Jesus yun, guys. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you. Why were you searching for me? He asked. Didn't you know I had to be in my father's house? But they did not understand what he was saying to them. Then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and favor with God and men. So, 12 years old na si Jesus Christ nung mag-teaching siya doon sa temple. Kumbaga sa nakaligtaan ng magulang, hindi na kasama sa pag-uwi. Okay guys, bye everyone. God bless.